Hey you guys, this week I want to talk about how to hack your cravings. Right about now is exactly when most people, their efforts and their gusto for trying to overhaul their eating habits and start eating more healthy whole foods really starts to wane, and that's okay. That's completely normal. So if you are having a lot of cravings, just know that that's completely normal, and I want to give you a little just insight and tips about how you can handle and how you can overcome those things. So first thing that I would suggest to you if you are having a lot of cravings is to differentiate with yourself. Is it actually hunger or is it actually a craving? So most cravings are triggered by something, someone, a situation, a circumstance, and I think we've talked a little bit about this before in week 2, but cravings are triggered responses. It's a biochemical response. So it's hormones. Your mind sees something and it registers it, and it immediately starts sending hunger hormones to your gut and to your stomach, telling you, hey, I should eat something. I really want that. And so that is a craving. And so you oftentimes have to kind of differentiate with yourself. Is this hunger or is it a craving? So if it is actually hunger, meaning your stomach is growling, your blood sugar is low, you don't have energy, that is truly hunger. And oftentimes, if you're not eating right and you're not eating appropriately, your blood sugar can drop so much that you do have cravings for those very nutrient or calorically dense food, not nutrient dense. And so those things are like pizza, soda, cookies, things that will really spike your blood sugar up really quickly. So that's why I really advocate for you guys to listen to your body. If your energy is very, very low, you definitely need to increase the amount of protein and fibrous vegetables that you guys are eating. So I want to help you differentiate between hunger and cravings. Hunger is when you actually have very, very, very low blood sugar. Your stomach is growling. You may even be lightheaded, fatigued. That is hunger. A craving is something that is triggered by a person, a situation, an event, actually seeing the food, smelling something, routines and habits that you normally have where you would eat something specific. I know for me, sometimes it's cookie dough. If there is cookie dough in the house and I open the refrigerator and I see it, that is a trigger for me to eat it. So think about that. Is this actually hunger versus cravings? Now, if it is hunger, I want you guys to actually eat. And the things that I want you to eat are protein and fibrous veggies. And you can even throw some fruit in there if you want. But for satiety, we want to increase your protein and increase your vegetables and your fats as well. So I really want you to start thinking about and focusing on increasing your protein intake at every single meal. And that should be a priority at this point because we're building lean muscle mass, we're exercising, and it's going to sustain our blood sugar for hours up until we work out. Because we are not eating carbohydrates throughout the day until we work out, we need proteins and fats to stabilize our blood sugar. And if we do not, then our blood sugar is going to crash, cravings go up, and bad eating habits occur. So I really want you guys to think about increasing protein, increasing vegetables and fats. That is a priority for you in stabilizing and preventing hunger and cravings from occurring. The second thing that I would suggest to you is we need to get some really good tools in our tool belt to overcome those cravings when they occur. So a couple of things that I would suggest to you is maybe going out and buying some cocoa powder. I'm not talking about the Hershey's cocoa powder that has the sugar and whatever else in it. I'm talking about all natural cocoa powder. You can go in the baking aisle and you can find it. And research actually shows that this is a huge appetite not suppressant, but craving suppressant. So at night when you are just craving something, what you can do is heat up some water and mix the cocoa and drink it, and it's actually so beneficial. I know for even me and a lot of my clients that have done it and people that I've read about on the internet that have tried this. It is really beneficial. So that's something that you could try. Another thing that you can try that I also do is drinking hot tea. And I love hot tea. I don't know about you guys, but it's something that I implement. There's a lot of herbal teas out there that are actually really beneficial. So there's things like yerba mate tea, which is actually a really good tea to drink for digestion. It actually a little bit can stimulate your metabolism, and so that's something that I drink. I also drink green tea. I drink a sleepy time tea that makes you really sleepy right before you go to bed. So there's all sorts of kinds of teas out there that you could try and implement into your just your habits and your routines. Something else that I have found very, very, very beneficial, and I recommend it to everyone, is to have some sort of protein bar with you all the time. Because there is always going to be that moment in time where you are being tempted and you're having cravings to eat the cupcake at the cafeteria or at a party or the Super Bowl or whatever. There's always going to be something that is tempting you. So what I would suggest is have that protein bar always with you. And when you do feel either hungry or you start to have cravings, eat that first, and I guarantee you are less likely to overeat other things or be less tempted to eat other things. So find a protein bar that you really like. There's two that I would suggest. One is a Quest bar, and you can find these at like the Vitamin Shop. I think you can find them at Walmart. But really just find something that you like and that has a relatively high amount of protein in it. And the other one, I'm pretty sure it's called Combat Crunch. It's really good, and you can try that out as well. Those are the two that I've eaten and that I like, so you can try those out. So always have that with you. And if you know that you're going to an event or a place where there's going to be all sorts of goodies and snacks that you can graze on, I would highly suggest eating that first, eating something high in protein before. And you are so much less likely to overindulge. I'm not saying don't indulge, but I'm saying overindulge or binge on those just snacky foods that really add up calorically. So give that a try. You can also try that with just chicken or whatnot, but protein bars are really just easy to have all the time. So I would really encourage you to have one of those with you all the time. The other thing that you guys can try is to change up habits, to change up routines. So if you are finding that at night, once you finish homework, once you finish your work, once you sit on the couch and you hang out with your significant other, that you really, it's almost like a habit that you guys turn on the TV and you snack and you eat cookies or chips or popcorn or I don't know what you guys eat. But if you find that is what is triggering you, I would really suggest kind of changing that habit. I would suggest, maybe not watching, TV and reading a book instead, or not watching TV and going for a walk instead. So just recognizing those events and those situations that really trigger you to have an emotional response and to want food. I would just really highly encourage you to find something and maybe a little bit more meaningful to do with your time instead of sitting and watching TV together. Something else that you guys can do, and I am a huge proponent of this, I really advocate for this. People think I'm crazy when I suggest this, but anytime you are having cravings, I would suggest you do a 1 minute blast. And so that is pick one exercise. I don't care what it is. It can be squats, it can be push-ups, it can be jumping jacks. But do it for 1 minute. And what that will do is it will signal your body to release stored glycogen. So stored glycogen really is just the body's fuel that raises your blood sugar when it's released, and when it's stored, it decreases your blood sugar. So when you do a 1 minute blast of exercise, the body is essentially metabolizing stored fat, stored glucose, and releasing it into the bloodstream, which should significantly reduce your body's cravings. The other thing that I would highly suggest is that you guys drink enough water. You should be drinking water. And oftentimes cravings really are just a result of lack of water consumption. So first things first, if you are having a craving, I would suggest drinking a glass of water and eating a protein bar and maybe eating a piece of fruit or some vegetables. So that would be kind of my strategy and my approach if I am really desiring something that I don't think is actually hunger related. That is what my approach would be, and I think that would be really good and helpful for you guys to start implementing. If it is actually hunger, I would highly suggest to eat. I would highly suggest to eat something very high in protein, and then again, your fibrous vegetables. So those are just kind of the things that I would highly encourage you guys to start thinking about when it comes to hunger and cravings. You can always message me if you are having specific cravings or you're having trouble troubleshooting a certain circumstance. If there's a scenario that you find yourself continually in and you just can't be successful in that, you can always message me, email me, ask it on the Facebook group. So I hope you guys have a good week and implement a few of these strategies. Really try to start being more proactive instead of making decisions when you're in the moment, because it's so much harder to make the right decision when you're in the moment and you're being tempted. So try to be a little bit proactive and start having these kind of what are they called? Fail safes or something like that, to prevent you guys from eating things that you don't want to actually be eating. So try them out. Let me know how they work, and I will talk to you later. Bye.